Hello, everybody. My name is Tim Thunhurst. I am 34 years old. I am married and I have two boys. I have two sisters, and I was born in a farming community in Bakersfield, California. And I lived there until I was partway through the sixth grade. My dad was a truck driver for much of my early life, and even though he was working hard for our family, I rarely saw him until he found an opportunity to buy a company from my uncle who lived in Southern California. So that Halloween, my parents, my sisters, and I packed up the moving truck and moved to a new house in Lake Forest, California. It was a smaller home, but we lived close to the beach, so I didn't mind too much. I felt like an outsider. I did. I felt very alone for the first few years after we moved. It wasn't until I was in the seventh grade that I was eating lunch alone by myself, which is usual for me, that I saw a kid around a church. He came up to me one day at lunch. He invited me to sit with him and his friends. We instantly became best friends and were inseparable. We finished junior high school together. We both went to El Toro High School, and he introduced me to skateboarding and surfing. I spent so much of my time growing up at the beach or at the skate park or at John's house. Um, I just remember getting into a lot of trouble, and John was always right beside me. I can't say that's what I only did in high school. That company that my dad bought, which I attribute to my life as a night owl, was a janitorial company. We cleaned businesses at night, on the weekends, what have you. I was constantly doing something. I hardly ever slept, and I have not improved my sleeping habits one bit in the past 20 years. Um, One thing that I'm proud to say and that I absolutely love is that my family is very close, and any story that has me in it would heavily include both of my sisters. My older sister, Janelle, is 6 years older than me and moved out shortly after we moved to Southern California. She is the world traveler in our family and is now married to her husband, who was a chief in the Coast Guard. They actually met in Hawaii, and right now they're currently stationed out in Florida. My younger sister, Katie, is 2 years younger than me, and we've been very close for as long as I can remember. I was always short for my age, and she was always taller, so there was quite some time where people mistook us for twins. My mom always jokes that we have our own internal language because we have so many inside jokes, and we kind of do. She took a job in Alaska when she was 21, and on her first day, she met her now husband, who was born in Serbia. Um, 2 years after that, my family found themselves flying to Serbia for their wedding. They're now settled down in Avondale with their three children. Um, After high school, my family moved to Arizona. So I was 18 and I struggled for the first little while getting adjusted out here. But it wasn't long before I found out how fun Arizona could be. We have some of the best skate parks in the States. You could swim almost year round. I'd go hiking all the time, and I found a job as a waiter. I loved entertaining people, so it was the perfect job for me. Um, it seemed to be a routine in my family. When you're 21, you go and explore. So I moved to Chicago shortly after turning 21. Went up there with some friends for a summer. We had a blast. I heard how my friend John and his family were remodeling their house, so I went back to visit and help them in the remodeling process, and I stayed with them for a semester of schooling. I came back as a promise to my mom to Arizona that winter, and a a close friend of mine introduced me to rugby, and I played that for years. I love the sport. It's so much fun, and it's perfect for a guy that me that's a little shorter. um, and it was actually when I was playing rugby that I met my wife, Brittany. We've been married now for 10 years, and she honestly is my everything. Her and the boys make up so much of my time, and I wouldn't do it any other way. Um, I got my two boys. I have Lincoln and I have Reagan. Right now they're 7 and 4, and I can tell you they keep me tired and always looking for more ways to entertain them and teach them. So I always try to find ways to play video games or skateboarding or things like that. And I love my time with my family. I work-wise, I've been working in trucking or transportation for the past 8 years. And even though I spend a lot of my time at work, I feel like that's just a small part of my life. Most of my time I spend with my family. They all live nearby, aside from my older sister. And now I am going back to school. I'm going back to school for business. I was motivated by my younger sister who just graduated, and she has her 4-year degree. My older sister, their husbands, my wife, they all have their degrees, so I'm the last one on the boat for that. But I'm excited to finally be moving forward. And that is me. So thank you so much for your time today.